right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Driving the Line, your sports betting brand of record. I'm your pal, Jonathan Zaslow, in today for the coach. He's flying all over the country. He's doing PGA. He's all into the golf. So I will sit in the big boy chair today as we get everything done. We get your week started. So glad to have you aboard. And of course, love when you guys participate in the chat. You let us know how you're doing, how your weekend was. Gave you some of your plays for this coming week. You help us out. First, though, we're trying to help you out, of course. And that also means we're transparent. We take a look back. We see what the picks looked like yesterday. So, AB, 1-2 with the baseball yesterday. DG tried to hit up a little summer league action. The Heat ended up winning by 2, I think it was yesterday. It was a late basket. They were -3.5. Tonight, though, summer league action. You got Heat, Grizzlies, if you're into that. That's the championship game for Summer League. That's right. So those guys looking to get back on track to start this week. Let's bring aboard our pal AB here. Let's get today's show started. What better way to start the week than let's bring our pal AB on here. Everybody's in a good mood. Everybody's ready to go. Hello, AB. How are you today on a Monday morning?
Good morning, Zaz. Good morning, crew. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, doing fantastic. And it's funny. You bring up the recap screen from yesterday. Here's how wild it was, all right? So it was the Heat ended up winning by 3. So lost that one on the hook, okay? But the bigger part, so yesterday, Sunday's show, all right, we've started a weather report, which you'll see today. So in Atlanta, massive humidity, all right? We called it before the game. Home runs everywhere. Total 8.5. We had the over. There were 5 home runs in that game. 5. All solo. We lose by the hook. 5 home runs and all solo. Like, baseball's crazy, man. It's just wild sometimes.
That is a tough way to finish out the weekend. I'm glad we're at the start of this week, AB, because last week was weird. We had 2 All-Star breaks. You had the MLB All-Star break. You had the WNBA All-Star break. And it could be kind of a slow week, but the week after that, you know what it means? It means we are so close to the football getting going. Everybody's starting to report to all the training camps. By the end of this week, everybody's going to have reported to training camp. You could taste it. It's so close, AB, the NFL action getting started here.
It's almost here, man. Almost here. Cannot wait. And the no-fly zone's almost here. Ready for that one.
That's right. Come on now. All right. Before we get to all of our picks and we bring our pals in here on Driving the Line on a Monday morning, let's get to our play of the day. That's right. Howie Schwab's crew play of the day. Take it away, AB. Tell everybody what we're voting on today. Come on.
Howie looking sharp as always. All right, 2 games, 4 options here. All right. Raise Yankees, day game, over 8.5, or raise Yankees under 8.5. And then going out west, the Red Sox Rockies tonight. You going over 10.5 or under 10.5. Polls in the chat. Vote now, and we will update at the end of the show as we always do. And my man Scott Cobe, hope you feel better after surgery, buddy. My man Mark, happy birthday, man.
Love when you guys participate in the chat. That's how you want to do it. If you're part of the crew, you want to be heard from, let us know what you think the great play is for today, and we're all in this thing together. Speaking of which, let's bring aboard our pals. It's time for the picks. Yes. Oh, look at these beautiful punums we just welcomed on the screen. We got Charles here. We got Raphael here with us today. Charles, how are you? Hello. Good morning.
Morning, Zaslow. Crew chat. Great. Yeah, AB, the Cardinals had the bases loaded top of the ninth, and then the Braves had men on second and third, bottom of the ninth, and then all those solo shots. So, yeah, that one was frustrating. I was riding it with you. I understand.
Raphael, how we doing today? We have a nice little weekend. What were we getting? Some movies, maybe? What did we do?
I was out in the West Coast. I'm finally back out of the West Coast. It was too hot for me. I was going to stay a little bit longer, but I'm like, no way. I was in Phoenix and in Vegas. Phoenix 115 on Saturday. I'm out. But I canceled my trip to come back a little earlier, but I missed a WNBA All-Star game. I could have went there. I could have saw a free Pitbull concert. I'm kicking myself. It was one of the worst decisions I've ever made. I actually missed Jake Arrieta's no-hitter Dodger Stadium because I wanted to get out of the West Coast. So I am 0 for 2 on canceling tickets to leave the West Coast because of the heat.
I'll tell you, Pitbull getting a lot of attention with the WNBA halftime show there. I get plenty of Pitbull down here in South Florida, but it seems like it seems like people thought, AB, that Pitbull was a little bit of an interesting choice for the WNBA halftime show.
You know, you bring him in, all right, for that South Florida feel. You want to get the crowd up. You want to get it hyped, right? It's a fascinating choice. I'll tell you, here's the opposite end of it. Yesterday, the Astros lose 6-4, I think, to the Mariners. Yordan Alvarez hit for the cycle. They lost the game, and nobody noticed. Like, that's kind of the feel of it.
Guys, we got to start the week off on the right note. We got a lot of people that are counting on us, all right? You want to get on a good foot here on a Monday. Let's get to our picks here. Let's see what we got for everybody today, how we're all going to make that money together. Raphael, why don't you start us off here? What do you like?
I'm going with the Red Sox team total over 5.5 lane at $120 because the Red Sox no longer have to play the Dodgers. That's probably the best thing because now they're out in Colorado with that thin air. They scored 6 runs twice against the Dodgers. I think they could double that against Colorado. And they're facing Austin Goober. I call his last name how he pitches. So I just think they're going to rock Colorado, all their pitching staff. I like the team total over 5.5. We should see them probably hit 7+ easily. I almost took that prop at 7+ runs by the Boston Red Sox, but I just went team total over 5.5 lane at $120.
Charles, let's mix it up with a little bit of the footy here. What do you like?
Today we traveled to Denmark for a matchup between Lyngby and Copenhagen, who wrap up match day 1 of their new season. Despite not having any current data based off past performances, these two teams do enjoy sharing the pitch together, with 9 straight matches having total 3 or more total goals, and the both teams to score in 10 of the last 14. So we're going to back the both teams to score in over 2.5. That is cashing 6 of the last 7 when played on Lyngby's home ground, with this game starting at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Now, for folks who are wondering out there, Charles, with the Olympics, you know, you got soccer that's going to be played. You're going to be way involved in all of that, right?
Oh, we have a massive week coming up, Zaslow. We have Champions League qualifiers, Olympics, Europa qualifiers. Then we have the Leagues Cup starting this weekend. So it is a jam-packed week in the soccer world for sure.
That's right. I got Inter Miami down here with Leagues Cup play. I think their next game is back in the Leagues Cup, which they, if I'm remembering correctly, I believe that Inter Miami won the Leagues Cup last year.
Yeah,
remember
that's
that correct?
when they won it. Messi made his debut, hit that free kick. Yeah,
Yep.
That's when it all started with Inter Miami. Absolutely.
I'll tell you, I don't know if you guys know, I'm an inaugural season ticket holder for Inter Miami. All right. I've had the tickets every year. I held on to them because there was the idea that they may be able to get Messi. And of course they did last year. It's like, yes, now we're going to be able to sell these tickets. I'm going to make so much money. So I've been selling the tickets all throughout the year. Matter of fact, every time I sell my tickets, I have a buddy of mine who I used to split the tickets with. I send him, he got out this year. He didn't want to pay anymore because the prices went up. Every time I sell my tickets for double, triple the price, I send him a text message, and it's the $1 Million Man. It's a gif of the $1 Million Man laughing. Ha, 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 ha. Every time I sell the tickets. But now, because Messi's got the ligament damage, I can't give these tickets away. I had to go to the game myself the other day because I didn't want the tickets to go to waste. I can't get anyone to buy these Inter Miami tickets. I need Messi to get back in action, AB.
You know what? Here's what you always remember. Everybody has a price.
That's right. That's right. But apparently the price is never going to be low enough for these Inter Miami tickets with Messi not playing.
Can I give you an MLS fun fact of the day?
Yes.
You ready for this? All right. So Nashville SC stinks. Not very good. Okay. But they just hired a brand new coach. Okay. If you remember, the Tennessee Titans just 1 mile down the road also hired a brand new coach from Cincinnati. They hired Brian Callahan, the OC from the Bengals. Nashville SC hires a coach named Brian Callahan. They had to make him start going by BJ Callahan. So
that's weird.
Yeah, it's wild. How do you find 2 Brian Callahans?
BJ Callahan, rough name. AB, let's get back to the baseball here. What do you like for tonight? Come on.
All right, 3 choices here. Then we're going to look at the weather report real quick. All right, so first off, you got the Reds Braves over 8. Humidity is going to be through the roof. We'll talk about that here in just 1 second. Next, we're going to go with the Mets and the Marlins down there in your territory. Little Havana, baby. Lone Depot. We're going the over 8.5. And then day baseball. All right, Rays, Yankees complete blow-off game here. We're going to take the over 8.5, and I'm going to show you why. So today on the weather report, you could take a look here. All right, Rays, Yankees. Yankees haven't really been hitting the ball very well. I think that's going to change today. You got 10-mile-an-hour winds that are blowing out right to left, right-handed hitters that pull the ball in Yankee Stadium today could hit it to the moon. There could be blast shots here. I think the Yankees pick up some runs and look a little better offensively than they have really since the All-Star break. All right, next, Atlanta, going back to the humidity. We spoke about it yesterday. It was 80%. There were 5 home runs. 5. Now, it stunk that they were all solo shots, but going to go right back to it because there's even more humidity tonight hosting the Reds, who are hitting the ball as well. That's why we are going to play there. Now, here's the one in question. Minnesota, okay? You see it right there on the screen. 75% humidity, all right, going up against the Philly. If we could pull that back up just 1 second. All right, 75% humidity, but the problem is that the Phillies have Ranger Suarez on the mound, and the Phillies offense, besides yesterday, really hasn't looked that good. So that's why I'm not playing it, but I wanted to include it because there's a chance that if Suarez, the Phillies pitching, doesn't look good, the Twins could hit this over on their own.
Can I tell you, I love the old school logos there that were used for the Reds and the Braves. I mean, the more old school logos you could use, just throw them out there. Excellent job by Mr. Producer Man putting that together. Finally, I got one play here for you guys tonight. I'm going to go as well with Yankees and Rays. Well, this afternoon, Yankees and Rays. If we could throw the screen right back up there real quick so everybody can see. Thank you. You know I love a good no runs in the first inning play. Come on now, get in, get out, catch that ticket, put a green check mark up there. So Rays, Yankees, no runs in the first inning, -110. I can handle that. That is my play for today. So there you go. And for those of you guys who are just catching on now to Driving the Line, as we're about 13 minutes into the program, if you missed some of the picks, we'll whip back around a little bit later on in the program here. We'll make sure that everybody is all caught up. All right, don't go anywhere. There's still a lot left here. We're going to get to Educate and Entertain up next, presented by Reagan the Movie.
Welcome to your life.
You can run from a bully for so long,
There's no
but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him.
What did the president know, and when did he know it?
I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight!
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Wants to rule the world.
Okay, there you go. Reagan the Movie. I like that Dennis Quaid, too. I see Mina Suvari's in the movie. You got the father from Wonder Years. I can never remember his name. But anyway, that's a very good cast. Right? Who can remember his name? Do you remember what his name is? The father from Wonder Years.
I forgot about that TV show when you said it. Now I get the theme song in my head.
Forgot about that. Joe Cocker. That's right. It's a theme song. What a show, The Wonder Years. Winnie Cooper. Oh, my God. All right. Let's get to some Educate and Entertain here. You guys know how we do. So, over the weekend, you had the WNBA All-Star Game. Guys, I don't know about you, but for the first time in my life, I watched the WNBA All-Star Game. I had never, a year ago, there's no way you would get me to watch WNBA, but the league's on fire. We know they got the new media rights deal coming, so they're on the ascension right now. I watched the WNBA All-Star Game this weekend. It was a great game, as I expected it to be. You had Team USA versus Team WNBA. Team WNBA wins. Arika Agumbawale, a record 34 points, just the 4th player ever to have multiple WNBA All-Star Game MVPs. By the way, guys, all 34 points came in the second half. That's wild. It was a great game. The competition was awesome. But here's my question to you, Raphael. The WNBA, with such a competitive game, and everybody afterward talked about how much fun it was and how great it was. And then you remember when the NBA has their All-Star weekends, what does everybody say after the game? About what a disgrace it is. The players, they don't try, they don't care, You got fans in the building spending hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars, and the NBA player may as well slap them in the face as they're walking by them. Did the WNBA embarrass the NBA this weekend because of the competition level at the All-Star game?
Not only did they embarrass the NBA, they embarrassed the NHL, they embarrassed the NFL. The baseball probably not, because they're always some kind of competitive. But yeah, they completely put a black shadow over the NBA. It was a fantastic game. I'm still kicking myself that I didn't go to that game. Let me tell you what. So other odds makers, they put this game up. We opened this game USA national team -6. And I was telling other places that's way too high. It should be like a 3-4 point favorite. They didn't listen to me. This thing got bet all the way up to -7. Why were the people betting the USA national team in this one? I jumped all over it as much as I could get on it because I'm not allowed to bet at other places. This one moved to 7.5. I was completely blown away that they had no respect for the WNBA All-Stars, which they all had grudges. There was 4 or 5 of them that had grudges that wanted to beat the pants off the USA team. Completely embarrassment. I love the game. Not as good as the halftime show, but the game was defensive, it was competitive. Everyone was checking. The defense on Caitlin Clark was fantastic. I enjoyed the game. And by halftime, I forgot it was an All-Star game. I just thought it was a really, really good basketball game.
AB, is there any way that the NBA looks at this and realizes, I mean, it's lip service every year, Adam Silver, but is there any way somebody in the NBA winds up caring about putting a decent All-Star Weekend product out there for the fans?
No. Like kayfabe, professional All-Star games are done. It's over because the players make too much money. The league needs the players healthy, and it's just not going to happen. Like the WNBA and the Olympic team, they were both playing for something. Like you said, the grudges that the All-Star team had against players that were actively and publicly not chosen to play on the Olympic team. And not a good look for Shelley Reeve, the head coach of the Olympic team, who hourly blasted, Caitlin Clark and other players like, no, we don't want them, right? Okay, great call. How's that working out for you? But no, here's the thing about All-Star games, and I don't say this to be negative. I say it for what it is. All-Star games are designed for kids. Same thing with uniforms. The NFL, you notice every time that new uniforms come out, basically everyone above the age of 21 is like, I don't like these uniforms. Why are they going gradient? It's for kids. And I mean the next demographic. I don't mean for kids, right? Like that's what these All-Star games are for, is building fan bases and audiences for the next demographic coming up. That's why you see uniforms like the MLB All-Star game. Like most of us were like, dude, these are terrible. You know who didn't think they were terrible? 13-year-olds that are fans of Bryce Harper and Aaron Judge that bought them for $195, right? Like that's what these All-Star games are for. So I hate to say it, but it's done. Like that's what they're there for, man. It's a marketing tool.
I thought it was a huge embarrassment over the weekend, Raphael, because it was just an example of all you got to do is try. Just try. Just go out there and just try a little bit. Put some effort into the game that people are spending a lot of money for. And AB's right. You got NBA players who are making 50, 60. We're talking, is so-and-so going to be the first $70 million a year player? But just go out there and try. And it wasn't even with the WNBA, Raphael. It wasn't even like, all right, we'll go through the motions for 3 quarters and in the 4th quarter we'll turn up. No, right when the game started, they were picking up full court. Like it was like, oh, this is how it's going to be, It ended up being a really great showcase, man.
Yeah, I agree with AB saying the jerseys. I love the WNBA who switched jerseys at halftime. They all came out with different jerseys at halftime. So now the girls had to buy 2 Caitlin Clark All-Star jerseys. So they had to spend $300. Brilliant move on that one. But again, I love the defensive play on this. I understand it's the NBA, like, oh, we don't want to go to play hard and get hurt. Give me a break. On the offseason, they're at Rucker Park. They're playing 3-on-3 at the gyms. I don't want to hear the NBA players saying, we don't want to get hurt. But what about going to Rucker Park and doing all these charity basketball games in the offseason? I don't want to hear that, oh, we don't want to play these All-Star games because we don't want to get hurt. That's BS.
I got to tell you, you're so right bringing that up, Raphael, because what else do we also see in the summer with the NBA players? They got to play the Drew League, They show up for the Drew League where and they play so hard, and it's great for the fans who are in attendance there. I don't know, what's it, $5 a ticket if it even costs anything? You got NBA fans that are paying hundreds of dollars. Can you put you're playing your hardest in the Drew League? That really rubs me the wrong way, AP. I hate that stuff.
I agree. Like, I absolutely agree, man. Like, it's a bad setup, and somebody will eventually figure it out because there is money to be made, right? But we're kind of in that transitional period of, all right, let's just get it on and just get it over with, man. And hopefully we sell some merch. Like, that's about it. Like, somebody will figure it out, though. You're right. At some point, because there is money to be made if you can figure it out correctly.
All right, on a more positive note, yesterday, Major League Baseball Hall of Fame inductions. And some of the bigger names that went in, you had Todd Helton, you had Adrian Beltre. Don't touch him in his head. He does not like when you touch his head. You had Joe Mauer, Jim Leland. I loved seeing Jim Leland get in. Florida Marlins 1997 World Series champs. Jim Leland wins his World Series championship as the manager down here. So I was 16 years old at that point. It was a really special year. I loved seeing Jim Leland getting that induction yesterday, and he got emotional. And for me, like Jim Leland, you picture me smoking cigs in the dugout during the game. Like, Jim Leland is not the kind of guy I see getting emotional. And he did. He got very emotional at the end of his speech there. I really enjoyed seeing that, Raphael. Did anything stand out to you with the Hall of Fame inductions? Did you particularly enjoy anything you saw yesterday?
Yeah, every one of them was a Cubs killer. Jim Leland always killed the Cubs. Beltran where interleague always killed the Cubs. Helton would hit dingers in right field against the Cubs. So I thought it was more interesting to see Jim Leland. Like you said, I always remember him smoking in the cig. That was fantastic. You brought that up. I always remember that. I'm more excited about next year's. We'll probably dive deep into that one. Yeah, Bauer, the youngest one, but if you have to face it, he played catcher. Catcher's a brutal position to play in baseball. So of course he retired early, and he's the youngest one. I think he's going to be the youngest one for a very, very long time. I don't see one getting in a Hall of Fame that's playing now that's going to be younger than Bauer, unless Aaron Judge gets hurt and he doesn't want to play anymore or something like that. But Joe Bauer will be the youngest one for a very, very, very long time. I don't see another one around the corner that's going to retire soon and surpass that age. So he looked young up there. He looked like he could probably still DH and play first base on stage. That kind of still shocks me that he's retired.
AB, anyone in particular yesterday that you enjoyed seeing getting their induction?
Well, all right, Todd Helton, obviously being a Tennessee guy. Love to see him get in. Todd Helton, if anyone didn't know, one hell of an athlete. He was actually the starting quarterback for Tennessee in 1995 against UCLA, game 1, all right? They didn't want to play him, but they had to because all they had behind him was a freshman, some kid named Peyton Manning.
How about that? That's a good little nugget right there, AB. That's a good job out of you.
Yep.
So, as Raphael said, next year's class, let me give you a few of the names that are eligible for the first time in 2025, all right? And you tell me which of these guys, maybe you think all of them, Raphael, are going to get in first ballot, although we know that's not really likely. But which of these guys do you think are first ballot guys? Next year, eligible for the first time, Felix Hernandez. You got Ichiro, Curtis Granderson, Francisco Liriano, Dustin Pedroia, CC Sabathia, Troy Tulowitzki, to name a few. Raphael, do any of those names stand out to you as first ballot guys?
I think Ichiro will be a unanimous. I think he goes in for sure. I think he gets the unanimous votes. King Felix, I think, is on that fence, and so is CC. If I had to choose one of them, I'd probably put CC ahead of King Felix, but King Felix was such a big name for Seattle Mariners, especially in the pitcher. He pitched a no-hitter at home. He had some really, really good teams. But I think if Ichiro is going to be unanimous, I don't know if they're going to put two guys in this pretty much the same team. I mean, King Felix did play with Ichiro. So I think CC and Ichiro, I think, get in. There's the other ones I think it's on the fence. I'm really close to see who's not going to get in because Billy Wagner's in a final year of the Hall of Fame ballot. I always thought he would definitely get in. A little bit shocked that he's not going to get. I think Manny Ramirez is last year. I think is next. I think 2026. I could be wrong in that one. A little bit shocked that he's not in it, but Billy Wagner, I thought he should be in there.
So, Raphael, you think Ichiro will be a unanimous?
Yes.
Am I remembering correctly? Is Mariano the only unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer?
I know he is. I don't know if he's not the only one, but I think he is. But I think Ichiro will be unanimous. I mean, the way he came in and he reminds everyone forgets now what we have all these Asian players coming in that they're big stars now. Everyone forgot when Ichiro came in, no one knew about him and his rifle. I mean, he's a skinny guy and his arm was just a rifle in the outfield, and the way he hit and bunt and all that, unanimous. I would be shocked if he's. I'm gonna put that prop bet up today. I would be shocked if he's not unanimous.
You know, AB, it's interesting to point out where, you know, you're watching the show like, of course, Zaslow, of course, Ichiro will be unanimous. Who wouldn't think that Ichiro should be in the Hall of Fame? But what winds up, first of all, you got a lot of these baseball writers that are very stuck up, and it's like, oh, if so-and-so wasn't unanimous, I'm not voting this guy unanimous. You know, it's very strange. But there's also the aspect of it where you only have a certain amount of votes, right? I think you're allowed 10 votes, 10 guys. And there's a lot of baseball writers who say, okay, Ichiro, he's definitely going to get in. I don't need to waste my vote on Ichiro. I'll try and give it to a guy like Billy Wagner, who's in his last year. I'd like to use that vote on someone who really needs the vote. So a lot of times, AB, it's not that writers don't think that Ichiro should be in the Hall of Fame. It's more like, all right, he's already in. I want to use my vote over here.
You're right. Ichiro's going in. Now, you guys are better to discuss the unanimous part than I am. If Derek Jeter wasn't a unanimous Hall of Famer, although I get it. I mean, people, you know, they nitpick some of his stats hitting wise, but Ichiro's going in. Like that's undisputable. Now, the next part. Oh, and you talk about unanimous Mariano Rivera being the only one. There's another stat for you. More people have walked on the moon than Mariano Rivera has given up earned runs in the postseason. And he pitched in a lot of postseason games, 12 and 11. That stat is insane, man. Ichiro's getting in. CC Sabathia, King Felix, right there. My question is, and I don't think he's getting in the first time, what do you do with Dustin Pedroia? Because the laser show was good, man, for a while.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated to see. It probably take a couple hacks to get in there, but at some point he will. Pedroia was a hell of a player, especially for a guy who wasn't, you know, WWE size. You know what I mean?
By the way, I looked it up real quick, guys. Mariano, only unanimous Hall of Fame inductee. It's crazy, right?
Everyone's saying, oh, if Jeter didn't get missed by one vote, why should Ichiro? Just because he was on the Yankees. Can you imagine if Ichiro was on the Yankees? He would get in twice.
He was, though. He finished his career with the Yankees. He was there at the end.
Yeah, but I'm just saying if he played his whole career like Derek Jeter did, they would put him in 3 times, 4 times, just because he wore the pinstripe. So, Soupy, I know you're watching. Mute your microphone right now. You don't want to hear this. But the reason why all these people are getting against their Yankees, you're talking about, ooh, Don Mattingly had better numbers than Bauer. Well, who did he play for? Don Mattingly played the Yankees. Ooh. So, no, don't give me that. Ichiro, unanimous decision. He came in not even seeing baseball hitters because a lot of these guys come over here and they struggle for the first maybe couple of months. Ichiro was off the bat bunting, stealing his rifle arm in right field. Ichiro would have crushed if he was on the Yankees. They would put him in 3 times a unanimous decision if he wore pinstripes.
All right, so just to avoid confusion, right, AB? Raphael, you are not a Yankees fan. I don't want anyone to be confused. Like you're out on the Yankees.
I don't dislike the Yankees. I dislike the Cardinals. I don't dislike the Yankees, but no, I'm just saying everyone wants to say, oh, Jeter missed it by 1 vote, or Don Mattingly should be in, and A-Rod and Judge and all this. Oh, give me a break with this Yankee love.
Okay, can I add one thing to support Raphael? You know, what doesn't get spoken about either is that Ichiro had a hell of a career before he even got to Major League Baseball. Like, dude, I'm with Raphael 100%. Like, Ichiro deserves unanimous. Like, I just don't know because I don't pay attention to the voting. So that's why I said you guys are smarter than me on it. But I support Raphael in that. Ichiro was unbelievable, man.
And Mariano should have got in just coming out of Metallica, coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, he didn't even have to pitch a ball, throw a ball. Just when he came up, his music's just Hall of Fame material.
Excellent job, guys. Let's bring back our pal Charles. And for everyone or anyone who did not hear the picks at the start of the show, let's get to the whip around. All right, so first, though, let's take a look at who could be going yard today. Here are our top 5 home run odds for a Monday. We got Aaron Judge plus 150, Ozuna from the Braves plus 275, Pete Alonso plus 500, Nolan Gorman 550, Ellie De La Cruz plus 600. Rafael, you'll get first crack at it here. What do you like?
I was going to apologize to Soupy and pick Aaron Judge, but Soupy just put on there that Ichiro was a Yankee. Yeah, Michael Jordan was a Wizard, too. So we'll put that in fact. But I'm going with Ozuna at plus 275 in this one. I mean, I don't even have to tell you the weather report because AB told us the weather report, and we're going to see a lot of bombs in that game. So I think Ozuna at plus 275.
AB, what do you like?
First off, Rafael is absolutely crushing it today. I love it. All right, I'm going to go Aaron Judge. I'm going to eat the chalk here, plus 150. My man is very much overdue to hit a bomb. So is Pete Alonso. I'm just going to say
Eating
that.
the chalk. Eating the chalk's okay when we're talking gambling. You don't want to be one of the kids who eat the chalk. Very difficult to shake. Very difficult to shake that reputation. Charles, who do you like here?
I'm going to go with Pistol Pete Alonso plus 500 against your boy down in South Florida, Chirino. So I think he's had some good success against him. So, but some honorable mentions as well. Wilson Contreras and Lars Nootbaar against the Pirates as well. But for show purposes, Pete Alonso plus 500.
Yeah, and I'm going to eat the chalk as well, just like AB. Aaron Judge plus 150. He homered yesterday. Feel like maybe he's hot the next few days. I'll ride that wave with Aaron Judge plus 150.
May I add one thing real quick? Liddy in the chat brings up where are the Dodger choices. The Giants-Dodgers game, let me just tell you, I didn't add it on the weather report, but I almost did. You've got wind blowing out. You've got a little bit of humidity out there, not a ton, and the Dodgers are on fire right now, and the Giants are looking for a spark. Yeah. If you look at the Dodgers, you could have some nice options there.
Clayton Kershaw coming back this week as well for the Dodgers.
Just coming back from the West Coast, the San Ann winds are blowing. So, yeah, the ball will be blowing out at Dodger. And that's why I'm all fired up. I'm jet lagged.
All right, let's make sure everybody's up to speed on what the plays are for today. Let's throw the picks on the screen. Let's give a little rundown here. Rafael, let's hear it.
We're going with the Red Sox team total over 5.5 lane, a minus $120. The Red Sox are just happy they don't have to see the Dodgers. Even though they've lost back-to-back, or they got swept in LA back-to-back games, they scored 6 runs against Dodgers pitching. What are they going to do with Colorado pitching? So give me the team total over 5.5.
Charles, what do you got?
Going to Denmark, Lyngby and Copenhagen, the both teams to score in over 2.5. I'm expecting at least 3 goals and both teams to get on the scoreboard in a 2-1 type of match.
AB, what do you got?
3 in Major League Baseball, going with the Reds, Braves over 8, going with the Mets, Marlins over 8.5. And we didn't talk about the weather down there too terribly much, but Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that humidity wall. It is going to be popping down there in Miami today. Does it feel warm, Zaz? Hot down there?
AB, I go outside for 5 minutes in the Zaslow Mansion patio to let my dogs out. I come back in, I got to change my shirt from the sweat. Just 5 minutes. It's disgusting here.
Disgusting. All right, so we talked about that the last 3 days, that the last 2 days, the feels like temperature was like 105. It was out of control hot, but the humidity has slowly, that's why we've halted and we didn't see too many runs. Today's the day for runs. The humidity's way up and the temperature's a little bit down, but it actually feels hotter. It's a crazy weather day down there. So we're playing that. Then we're playing the Rays Yankees over 8.5 as well.
And I have Rays and Yankees. I'm going to get in and get out. No runs in the first inning, minus 110. I love a good no runs in the first inning play. So Rays and Yankees, that's what I have today. Those are the picks. I feel like those are a lot of winners, a lot of green check marks we're going to wind up seeing on the show tomorrow. Charles, Rafael, excellent job. Now that we have the picks in, let's see what the crew chose. It's time for the closing bell. All right, AB. Oh, there's Howie. Look how handsome he is in that St. John's jersey. What is the crew play of the day? What is the crew like?
A handsome young man, that Howie Schwab is. They're going with the Rays Yankees over 8.5 day baseball today. I believe first pitch is 1:40 p.m. Eastern. So if you're going to bet that game, get it in early. But yep, Rays Yankees over 8.5.
All right, there you have it. AB, we leave anything out? Does the crew need to know anything for the rest of today?
No, I think we're all set. I think we got you there. Yeah. Now, I will say one more thing. Okay. The Cardinals and Pirates play today. Excellent hitting conditions in Pittsburgh. However, I think they're throwing Mitch Keller, and the man is a stud. So I left it off. I didn't know what to do with it, but there's a chance that you could have some runs there in that game. But other than that, nope, all set, man.
All right, well, look, I think what the crew definitely needs to know, like, rate, comment, do all that's great for the algorithm. I don't know how the algorithm works, but I know that that's great for the algorithm, and then driving the line benefits, and then everybody benefits, and the crew benefits, and everybody's so happy. So that's what we got for today. A lot of winners there. Always love starting the week with everyone. Your pal Coach, he'll be back on Wednesday. He's traveling the world, calling golf, all right? So Coach will be back in the driver's seat on Wednesday. If you miss him, just go online, you Google his face, and you can check, oh, it's Coach. I miss him so much. He'll be back on Wednesday. Again, like, rate, comment, all of that good stuff. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow on another edition of Driving the Line. See ya.